think I would like to have an animal, you know?
They're fun, man, but you gotta really know what you're getting into. If you go out of town, you're gonna need somebody to watch it, feed it, and take care of it. You know, you gotta get that. You gotta make sure you have a big enough yard where your dog can get some exercise.
Yeah.
And they're gonna shit all over the place. You're gonna have to learn how you pick that up. You're gonna have to pick that shit up.
Yeah.
You know?
Can you teach them to shit in like a hole or something?
Nope. Nope. They shit wherever they go outside. They just find a spot and say this is a good spot to shit, and they just drop logs. Yeah. And then you got logs all over your lawn.
Yeah.
And if you go 2 days without cleaning those logs, you got 8 logs. You gotta go out and pick up logs. And I have 3 dogs. So I have mucho logos. 3 dogs makes mucho logs. A lot of logs. You gotta go around cleaning it up.
Dude.
And then if I don't clean it up, I'll have that fucking smell. I'll be out in the yard like, ugh.
Oh, really?
Dog shit smells. And then you gotta get the little scraper, and scrape the logs. And then I have a place I dump them into.
Yeah.
It's nasty. Scooping up shit. Imagine if your grandma just shit all over your lawn. Just go out in the lawn and she shits in the yard, shits on the lawn. Like, oh, grandma's out there shitting. I gotta go clean up her shit.
Yeah.
I love her, but God, I hate cleaning her shit.
Yeah, I would hate cleaning up probably human shit for some reason. But I remember
More than dog shit?
Well, when I was a kid, they had a boy in our neighborhood named Mario, right? And he was, dude, he ended up dying, actually. He did some pills and drove into an embankment. But when I was young, he would shit in his yard, make me bury it. And that's how I was allowed to be friends with him.
How did he make you bury it?
He just asked me to do it, and I was afraid not to do it, I think.
He said, hey, yo, dude, you're not going to believe this, but I took a shit, and it's out my yard. I can't even bury it because I'll throw up. Can you do me a favor and go bury it?
Yeah. He was dark, man. He had a real dark vision. And he would, he probably, honestly, dude, he probably shit 200, 300 times, and I buried it.
No.
I swear to God.
Come on.
I swear to God. I swear to God, dude. And he
how'd you not run out of places to make new holes? Did you think you ever dug up old shit to put in new shit?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. We basically had like the only setup I had, and I didn't even have a strong system. The only setup I had was like one of those plastic beach.
Oh no.
Like a beach setup. Dude, I'm talking I was 7.
So wait a minute. This 7-year-old was doing this? How old was he?
He was 8 or 9.
Oh, he's tricking you by being older.
He was older. And
2 years when you're 7 is a long stretch. You know, when you're 32, 32, 34, that doesn't mean shit.
Whatever, dude.
7 and 9, that's a big stretch.
Yeah, you go shit at your house, buddy. That's what I tell people now. But,
so for what was do you remember the first? There's no way you really remember.
I remember
what
100%.
He said.
I don't remember what he said, but I remember.
How did it happen? Will you find yourself with a plastic shovel and another person's shit going, damn, how did it come to this?
Well, it came to it because I know my brother probably wasn't around, and I wanted somebody to play with, and he was older, so I was hanging out, and he was deviant, man.
How so?
He just had a little bit of like he was kind of slithering, you know what I'm talking about? From
he knew how to manipulate you.
Yeah, he was.
Obviously, you buried his shit 200 plus times.
Like he had the same color in the outside of his eye and the inside of his eye, you know what I'm talking about?
A demon.
Yeah, like a light demon.
El Diablo.
Yeah, like a El Diablo, but also who was in elementary school.
Oh, interesting.
But he.
So when you first found yourself, do you remember the feeling that you first found when you were digging a hole for a dude's shit? Like, just thinking, what am I? How long can I do this? What if he keeps asking? How do I stop this? How did you wind up stopping? That's maybe a better question.
You know what? I don't remember how it kind of, how
petered
it kind
off.
of, petered off. I don't remember how it kind of tapered off. You know?
His parents ever like, hey, do you ever shit in the house? How come we don't have any missing toilet paper?
Well, dude, you know what? That's what I think it was. I think he was lazy. I'm serious. And he shat outside behind his slide. They had a slide in his yard because they had, a little bit of money.
God.
And he shat outside behind the slide.
Shat is a great word, too, by the way.
And it was silty kind of soil and sand. And I remember going over there, and I remember the shade of it, honestly.
What did it look like?
I would say like a taupe, but with a little more brown in it.
You can always find coyote shit because it has like little berries in it a lot of times. Coyotes eat all kinds of things.
Yeah?
Yeah, they eat some berries sometimes. I'll see these logs with like these little red berries in it, and I'm like, oh, that's coyote shit. It's always a dark brown, too. Their shit's super consistent. It's weird.
Gooses have fancy shit sometimes if you see them.
You mean disgusting?
Yeah, I never liked it, but it seems
Gross creatures.
Yeah.
I have a
Gooses
friend
are
who had,
violent. And that's a bait and switch by Mother Nature, because if you see a goose, you think, oh, this is fun. This can be exciting.
No, they're mean.
And then they'll fucking choke out an infant at a park. I mean, gooses are violent.
They're violent.
Extremely violent. And they fight in packs.
Do they? They
Yeah.
attack in packs?
Yeah, they do.
I have a friend who had a house on a lake, and they had a wire all around the lake.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what's the wire for? They're like, it's to keep the goose from going into the water. They don't want them waddling into the water. So I was like, is that electric? Like, what kind of fence is that? I'm not sure if it's electric. It might give them a little shock. But the idea was to try to keep because they shit all over their lawn. They shit all over near where they had a pond in their yard.
Yeah. They're just like
the ultimate.
They're like that kid Mario. They're just like that kid Mario, but a bird.
How balling are you when you have a pond in your yard? Like, you want to go fishing? Yeah, let's take 5 steps out of my backyard. You know, I mean, that's like the ultimate.
But I don't think I don't think if you have a natural hill in your yard, kind of, I don't think that's that expensive to get water put in and to get a pump put in. I don't think it's that drastic.
Oh, man, I would think that'd be a nightmare. But they got to make sure it doesn't leak. Like, you got to, like, what's going to keep the water there?
Yeah,
like, it takes a special kind of bottom. Like, when you go to a natural lake, like, that water's pooled up there for a reason. Like, that's an unusual ground. You got to realize, if you're looking at a natural lake, unless it's a glacial lake, the waters decide to stay there. Whereas the same amount of water is probably landed everywhere, but it's decided to stay there. So what the hell's different between that ground and all the other ground around it? So when you want to make a pond, you just can't make a pond everywhere. There's a reason why there's not a pond there, because that's not the kind of ground for a pond.
Right.
So they would have to put a liner in.
Oh, you got to tame it's like taming Mother Nature almost.
Yeah, you have to do something. You can't just pour water in there. You got to do something. And one of the things that they do in a lot of places, they use this really thick koi pond liner. It's basically a plastic liner. So you got a bullshit ass fake pond is what you got.
That's gonna look shitty.
You got
too.
an above ground pool.
Yeah.
You know, basically the above ground pool of ponds.
It's not even organized, you know? I got stuck in the Vegas Strip on New Year's one time, in the strip, like walking in the street at New Year's. I was trying to get to my friends, and I took like a wrong way to walk. And there was 1 million people.
You're stuck.
There was 1 million people in the street, nowhere to walk. Everybody drinking those huge fucking
yards
drinks.
of fucking, yeah.
Yes. Dude, one guy was running around. He had this big thing, and for like $1, he put it around your waist. You could piss into it, dude.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's really smart business.
Out of the blue, this
I saw a guy poop on the strip.
Really?
Yeah, a guy was pooping on the strip.
Dude, I saw a guy in India one time pooping, get hit by a fucking taxi.
Mid poop?
Yeah.
Did he live?
I don't know, bro. I don't stay around after that.
Yeah, you got to go.
I was cruising, bro.
Yeah. Peace.
But that's nothing, and that's nothing in India.
But people
bro.
poop in the streets all the time overseas.
Yes.
America has these weird laws that you can't poop in the street.
Yeah.
I don't know why not.
Yeah.
You should. If you got to poop, you have to poop. I think it's strange that people feel shame about public pooping outside.
Right.
You should be able to poop outside. If you have to piss really bad, you can piss outside.
Well, most of my audience knows I grew up when they had this boy down the street from me, this kid Mario, and he, in order to hang out with him, he made.
He had a brother named Luigi.
No, he didn't, dude.
No?
And
Wasn't a plumber?
We're going to leave that joke in. But he would shit in his own yard and make me bury it in order to be able to hang out with him, right? And so
you were his poop bitch.
I wasn't a poop bitch. I was a young man, and I was.
Why would you bury another man's poop if he asked you to do it? What was the benefit?
Because he was a tough kid, and there was otherwise
He was going to whoop your ass.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
no real way to hang out.
So you were a poop bitch.
I wasn't a poop bitch. I was a guy who would,
Bury a man's poop, otherwise he beat you up.
I would say I worked in like janitorial services. I would say
You
that.
didn't get paid though. So you didn't really work. You were doing an internship in janitorial service.
I didn't. I got paid in the fact that we got to, be around each
Were
other.
you a poop bitch intern?
And enjoy each other's company? No, I was first in line.
Apprentice.
Yeah.
You were an apprentice.
I was more of a, I would say.
Were there other people that buried his poop?
There were not that I knew of.
You were the key poop bearer.
I would say, yeah.
You were tip top.
Well, I was.
That's kind of privilege at that point.
I would say I was a colon concierge. That's what I would say.
Colon concierge.
Yeah.
Ah.
So this guy would
An
shit.
excrement excavator.
Yeah,
That's
there
what
you
were.
go, dude. Well, this guy would shit, and I'd have to hide it in his yard, right?
Did his parents ever know that he was
They
pooping in the yard?
had to have known, dude. His mother was a librarian, smart. you know, and so she had to have known. There's no way you bury 200 of some guy's poops in their own yard.
Does that trickle down? You think that his father did that? You think he learned that from his parents?
I'll say this: they had one of the best gardens anywhere in town. I will say that, bro. Rose bushes 30 feet high, bro, encapsulating the house, dude. Just all that
got a
young
lot of fertilizer.
Oh, that young liza, bro, in the
Right.
fucking ground.
Right.
Well, so here's what happened was eventually, and then he would let me hang out with him, dude. This boy Mario Ruffino, and then he ended up dying. He ate a bunch of pills and drove a boat into an embankment. And here's the thing:
On purpose. Was he fucked up? Was he partying?
Middle of the night.
Oh, he
Middle
was
of the night, in a speedboat and hit the side of an interstate, like one of those posts that
Oh,
goes down in
shit.
the water. Yeah.
He was high as fuck.
I don't know if he was, but he was always he had that vigilante in him. You know,
Did he
it was
own
always-
a boat? These people had some money
Yeah.
to own a boat.
It was like a boat that you would fish out of. You know?
Like a little tiny little fish boat.
Yeah, and some of the fish would get in and they'd be like, "I'm not staying in this boat," you know, and jump back in the water. Yeah.
The fish knew better.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this Mario's boat? Flop right back out.
But I remember I wrote his parents a letter when that happened and told them about that experience
About him pooping in the yard.
and me burying it. Yeah.
They didn't write you back.
Hundreds of times they never wrote me back.
I feel like that letter might be framed at their house.
And I wanted to be a pallbearer, I remember, and in my mind I wanted to put him in the ground one last time. That was
That's cold. as
That's a
ice.
true story, man. And I wrote that in the letter, and they never wrote me back, man. And it was sad though. He had two beautiful young sisters, and they,
No kids though.
you know, no kids, I don't think though. But then there also was a rumor in our town that he'd hit a homeless person with his truck, and she died, a woman, and that they
He hit her?
Yeah.
Well, then he deserves to die.
Well,
He killed somebody.
okay. He and a truck.
He killed
and
someone on
else
purpose?
Killed. There was a rumor it was
Yeah,
purpose.
but if it's a rumor, rumors in town are probably